And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending when you're receiving this information. My name is Rafael Vasquez, and this is your show, Líderes del Futuro. Today, we have the opportunity and privilege to communicate with Peter Morales, who is a youth advocate at LGBTQ Connection, which is a nonprofit organization that exists in Sonoma County, exists in Napa County. Peter, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about the work that you do over there for this organization.
As you stated before, I am Peter Morales. My official title is Youth Advocate, and basically what that entails is focusing on specifically youth, being their direct line of contact between them, their parents, and some of the resources we provide. Not only that, but I am more so a coach and counselor, meaning that if they have any problems, they would come to me. I think the best way to put it is I am the person on the ground directly interacting with the youth.
And again, the population that you're serving, can you tell us a little bit about you're working with youth, but what is the organization itself?
So LGBTQ Connections itself is a nonprofit organization that seeks to not only give a safe space to members of the LGBTQ community, but also provide trainings and raise awareness to those who don't necessarily identify, but still would like to know more.
Okay, so a lot of the time when we talk about this organizations, we're talking about the individuals who are directly being affected, right? In this conversation, we're talking about members of the LGBTQ community, but we are also talking about allies, right? A friend of somebody who is a member of this group and how they can best advocate. And I'm sure you're also doing work with the families as well. Do you find that with the Latinx community, it is harder for the families to accept their children, or are things changing now?
So far what we've noticed is that, well, yes, some families can be, they seem to know a little less than what our original group was, but they seem to be very open to learning as well as knowing how to properly support their child or brother, sister, just the family member that is part of the community. They are very open to learning how to support them.
Okay. And which city are you providing services to, and what hours or what days are the services available?
So there are actually two different groups. One is specifically serves the Santa Rosa community, and the one I'm focusing on is specifically the Healdsburg and Windsor community. I was brought on relatively recently around April to start doing work within Healdsburg and Windsor, but we have existed within Santa Rosa for actually I think more than 5 years now.
Okay. And again, community members that are interested in receiving services with your organization can reach out directly to you. And as a result of that, you'll be able to support those community members, whether it is, again, the youth, the parents, the family in general, or other community members that want to support. Do you have activities that you provide, either trainings? I know that with COVID is a little bit more of a challenge, but do you have any trainings either available or support groups that you're making available either for the families or the youth?
Yes, actually. So the way it specifically works is that trainings are by organization request. So you would have to come directly to us and say, we want a training to know how to best serve LGBTQ folks. Recently, we worked with the Santa Rosa Police Department, and even more recently, we helped the Healdsburg Junior High staff get more knowledgeable in LGBTQ terms. As for events that we put on, we have weekly events. The more regular ones are on Zoom, but we do hold a few in person. I think for specifically the community that your show caters to is QTPOC, which is Queer and Trans Person of Color, which is a Zoom meeting that happens every fourth Monday from 6 to 7.
Okay. And how can people get access to this information that, so that they can benefit? We know that during the pandemic, a lot of community members, especially from the Latinx community, where they don't feel welcome or accepted in their own households because they cannot come out. As a result of that, many of them have been dealing with a lot of stress, anxiety, sometimes suicide ideation. And so this type of support groups are essential, especially if they're available in these different formats. For some of them, it'll be easier to get there in person. For some of them, via Zoom is easier because maybe the child can leave the house, maybe go to a park and then use their phone to connect. How can individuals reach out to you all and get that information?
So our official website is lgbtqconnection.org, but if they want to have a faster method of contact, they could contact me at peter@lgbtqconnection.org. I could also leave my number if you would like, Rafael.
I think that the email address, since either way, if people are going to connect via Zoom, that would be a good way for people to get started and communicate with you. And then again, we invite the community to come together to support individuals. Again, everybody, as a result of COVID, we all are stressed, we're all depressed, and many individuals tell me, I'm not depressed. And it's like everything about your activities, your behavior tells the world that you're depressed. So it's okay. One of the things that I tell people all the time is it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to reach out for support. And that's why, especially members of the LGBTQ community have access to resources like the ones that you offer. And so I really appreciate that you are offering these services. I really appreciate that this organization is available for all community members, again, members of the community, their families, as well as extended community members who maybe want to support either economically, being a nonprofit organization, or want to support with additional services. And so if you can tell us again that email address, and then we'll make sure to post it and share it with everybody on Facebook and our YouTube channel and in other places. That way people may feel more comfortable communicating with you.
Yeah, so once again, that email is Peter, P-E-T-R, nothing capitalized, at lgbtqconnection.org.
It's an easy email address to remember. And again, we invite the community. If you would like to, you can always just share the email with a family member, and you can say, if at some point you need to reach out to somebody, maybe I don't know how to address your needs, but there are individuals like Peter who are there to support you. And so I'm grateful that you're offering these opportunities, these safe spaces for our community, the LGBTQ community in Sonoma County. And so LGBTQconnection.org is the website. And again, Peter is at peter@lgbtqconnection.org. And with that, I want to thank you for taking the time coming over. We want to do something quick to get the conversation started. And in the future, again, if you have any upcoming events, post-COVID most likely, feel free to come back and tell us about those events here in Líderes del Futuro and kbbf.org. Thank you, Peter.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Rafael.
Take care.
Okay, bye.